with everything going on, Sergio, and all of the gloom and doom that we're always dealing with, it's always, doesn't it seem like it's always something? 2 years ago was a pandemic. Now it's what's going on in Washington, and who knows what'll be next. How are you navigating all that, right now with your clients?
Yeah, listen, I think you have to meet your clients with where they're at, because everybody's going to be a little bit different. And so the one thing that I've recognized is that like my fear may not be their fear, and their fear may not be my fear. And so I think you have to seek to understand before you start to navigate the situation. And so, right, a lot of the questions are around, well, interest rates, or is the market going to crash, or how does a recession impact home values? And so it's taking those pieces of information. And in my experience, I show, I don't tell. Like I'll show you the data. I'll show you what's happened in the past, right? I'll show you what's going on. I'll show you your payment. I'll show you what happens when you do a price, or when a home gives you the opportunity to either do a price reduction or a credit, or you refinance. And so we start to put these together, these these guidelines. And so we take this big issue, we start to break it down, and I can give you some data here to solve this, some data here to solve this. And then if I have a concern that aligns with your concern, then we start to talk about like, all right, well, what is the probability of that happening, right? What is the probability that the market's going to crash? Nobody truly knows, but you start to look at some of the data, and depending on your area, especially here in Colorado on the Western slope where it operates as a coastal community because we have the Rocky Mountains, historically, we've been very insulated. So you start to have these conversations, and people are able to see this. And so now it's either we have a opportunity to go out and shop today or sell today, or we've put together a list of metrics that, hey, when these things happen, I'll reach back out and we'll have a conversation. So I have clarity, they have clarity, I have clarity, and then we also have a plan. And I think that helps alleviate a lot of the stressors that comes along with real estate.
I love that. I love that. And I think that it's key to when you put that plan together, and I have to assume a little bit of your Air Force background is what comes into play, or maybe you're just you are naturally like that. It helps, to your point about stress, it helps bring everybody's stress down because you've created a plan for a number of different variables. I'm a big Jocko Willink guy. I like him a lot. And so I've got his books, and he talks through, whatever the situation is, if you've got a strategy and a game plan for it, you're not stressed because you've run through that situation. For folks in law enforcement, for whatever, for example, they walk through certain scenarios. If something happens with the perpetrator here, you do this. If you see a civilian here in this situation, you do this. And so it's having that plan in place that I think that's what's going to be necessary in this new normal. The real estate professional that does not have a plan, you really don't have a business. How can I trust you as a potential client if you can't walk me through what could happen in XYZ situation, right? With
Yeah.
the data points to support it, to your previous point. So I think that's game changer, man. And I know your clients, they probably love you for all that.
They do. And there's this thing that I operate under. It's called the 3 C's: clarity, control, and confidence. My responsibility is I have a process. My clients are going to know what that process is. They're going to have clarity into that. Anything I know, they're going to know. My responsibility as an agent is to give them all the information that they need, because I'm the one with the plan, but they're the ones making the decision. And so that control aspect, if they're controlling all of the decisions, then it's my job to make sure that they are educated enough to make all of those decisions. And so what I found is like when they have that clarity and they have the control over their decisions based on educated information, that when they're signing on that dotted line, they can feel confident in what they're doing. And so I've broken it down to that little triangle, and that it's that simple.
Clarity, control, and what was the third C?
Confidence.
Clarity, control, and confidence. I'm gonna have to rip off and duplicate that, brother. I
Hey
love
man,
that.
steal it, take it.
Clarity, control, and confidence. I love that.